Could we hear big news in the coming days? What Whoopi Goldberg said this week on The View has landed itself way too close to the fire with a bad joke about Elon Musk throwing Trump off stairs for power, and it's got ABC News quaking in their shoes after already having paid $15 million to the president-elect in a defamation settlement. But before I show you how the incoming Trump administration spokesperson actually sees this tone-deaf remark, watch what Whoopi originally said that started it all.
As DC barrels towards yet another government shutdown, a bipartisan bill to keep the lights on was scrapped. And it has a lot of folks asking, who is in charge? Because I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say. I don't remember the last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairways. Because, people put the leg out to trip you going down the stairs. Watch out. But it kind of seems like maybe he is the president because he got a promotion of some sort that none of us knew about.
Did she just have the gall to ask who is in charge? Well, Whoopi, the answer is still Joe Biden under the inauguration, and that's the question that America has been screaming for the past 4 years. Who's in charge of the United States when the president can't even walk a straight line or string a sentence together? By the way, we're speaking the hard truth that no one else is, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to become part of the movement. Now, I'd love to see her respond to the damning report that came out last week from the Wall Street Journal, and this said confirming every single suspicion that Joe Biden was a senile president being wheeled around by some shadowy figures of the establishment that made Biden a mouthpiece for their own interests. And this is allegedly. So there is no one buying this pathetic attempt at generating controversy and division between the Republican Party even before Donald Trump is taken office, but I think it reveals the trajectory we're going to see from the establishment left-wing media like The View, which is why Donald Trump's pick of a young and fiery press secretary in Karoline Leavitt makes so much sense in pushing back against this propaganda. And she gave us a glimpse on Fox News of what we could expect to see in the next 4 years.
I mean, that's just a little weird. Joining us now with more incoming White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. Karoline, I'm so thrilled to have you with me. And you would think, ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I got to ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to They have mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
Yeah, a staggering $15 million for a single incorrect word from George Stephanopoulos is the cost that ABC News had to pay Donald Trump. What do you think the network is thinking about an egregious lie like this from Whoopi Goldberg? Not to mention, if you've been following a separate controversy from Whoopi Goldberg last month, she literally alleged on air on The View that a bakery in Staten Island had refused to take her order because the owners didn't approve of her political leanings. So what happened? Even though Whoopi didn't name the bakery itself, the owners came out themselves after a defamatory allegation against their business and proved that they couldn't take several orders that day because a boiler wasn't working properly. And since it was said on ABC, can you imagine how uneasy the producers must be for how easily they can be dragged into a potential new lawsuit? When you have that context in mind, what Whoopi Goldberg jokingly said about Elon Musk wanting to throw Trump off stairways to end his life and get the presidency is about as dangerously offensive as you can get, especially when there have been multiple attempts on Donald Trump's life already. Now, for the record, Trump himself has rubbished these allegations and attempts to divide the Republican Party by simply saying this.
And no, he's not taking the presidency. I like having smart people. You know, they're on a new kick. Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 all the different hoaxes. And the new one is President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? Right? Don't we want that? He's done a great job. He's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. But the fake news knows that. No, he's a great guy, and we want to have him.
His ability to diffuse these verbal landmines with humor is simply unmatched. And honestly, I can't imagine Donald Trump being the kind of person that would even like to share the spotlight or credit, let alone actual presidential power. We saw something similar this week when there was a curious media wave of news channels alleging division in the Republican Party over their disagreement about H-1B visas. Perhaps it's just the mainstream media leaning that party leaders that can actually disagree with each other on policy, but it exposed how the left-wing media establishment would love nothing more than sowing this division, and it gives the incoming administration something to look out for. As for Elon Musk, he's an unelected individual heading to an unofficial department like DOGE that works more as a recommendation panel for the Trump administration to cut down government spending. And even that department intends to shut down after completing its job just 1.5 years into the administration, as Vivek Ramaswamy announced, quote, "Most government projects should come with a clear expiry date. That's why we set one for DOGE, July 4th, 2026, and that's likely when Elon Musk is separated from his role in the administration, because the criticism and fear-mongering before that is certainly way too premature." What you find with Whoopi Goldberg is perhaps a snapshot of the desperation that's creating it. Interestingly enough, that's part of the reason why The View itself is facing an avalanche of criticism from all sides, even to the extent that there have been calls and attempts to give them some competition, and Rob Schneider's announcement at wanting to do this is certainly going to give The View a run for its money.
Well, no apologies, media, my new company. We're going to do a all-ladies talk show that won't be like The View.
Is it the opposite of The View?
It could be, but we're just going to do a show that it'll be the opposite, because this will be entertaining.
Okay.
It'll be funny.
Yeah.
We'll have funny women on it. They're going to tell jokes and have funny stories and health and wellness.
Is the idea to go after The View at the same time slot? Are you going, it's a competitor?
We're going to compete with them, yeah. I don't know if the same time slot. We're not going to announce who's doing the show yet, but that's what's happening now, and it's official. So now we're moving ahead.
Give us a timeline.
January, we're going to start shooting shows before the inauguration.
Are you excited to see that? I know I am, because it's only so long before a stale and out-of-touch panel like this is forced to step up and walk how they talk if they're going to flippantly throw out accusations at will and become an empty political mouthpiece. But let me know in the comments how you see this turning out, and share this video across your social media for people that need to see it. I think the desperation and confusion you're seeing in legacy media figures before Donald Trump has even taken office is a sight of just how interesting things are about to become after January 20th.